What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Collider Interview Studio at New York Comic Con 2025. I'm so excited to get to do my very first full Critical Role interview. I mentioned it to some of you before. I took my first step into your world last year at Fantastic Fest, where some of us met, and ever since, I've just become utterly obsessed with the brand you built and the fact that, like, creativity is just like seeping out of your pores nonstop. And in general, I love hearing about early inspiration. So big question that I would love all of you to answer. Can you each tell me the very first movie, show, book, tabletop role-playing game, anything at all that you played that made you stop and think, I love being enveloped in this fictional world, and I want to make sure other people get to have that feeling via what I create in the future?
Oh, boy.
John Grisham's The Client, I think, comes to mind. I really fell in love with those characters. And
To each their own.
Well, I can go next. Is that your answer?
yes, it is.
Okay. For me, I feel like the first piece of media that I was immersed in and obsessed with was X-Files.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
Sci-fi. I'm a sci-fi nerd.
I was. Excuse me.
Don't worry about it. That's good. Just leave it alone.
My editor is going to love this part of the interview.
I'm discovering things about myself.
Now? Just now?
Yep.
Took you long enough.
I was an Oompa Loompa in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as a child, and I loved the experience of putting on makeup and being silly and dancing around, and people applauded at me. And so I think that's where it sparked my love of performing and creating. Yeah.
I think I am the most 90s kid of this group. So I'm going to have a very 90s kid answer, which is I was a Wishbone kid. Wishbone was the GOAT. Yes, that's right. That's right. That's right. Best actor ever. The dog from Good Boy doesn't have shit on Wishbone. Okay? I'm just going to say it. But yes, it was like
this is not a group opinion.
Yes,
That's
not
the
a group
next
opinion.
bracket that we bring to a convention or a film festival.
dog actors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout it out.
Who's the
I
best
always
boy?
thought I thought you were making that character up, and you had to go on YouTube and prove to me that this was a thing.
No.
That, like there is like
I think they made Wishbone in
a Doctor Who
Texas.
dog.
They
Apparently,
did
is
make
a thing.
Wishbone
They
in
made Wishbone in
Texas.
Texas
And
because I
the-
remember a lot of Dallas actors were in Wishbone.
100%. The voice actor, he was based in Texas. I think
I
still
feel like
is.
we've gotten off track.
No,
Anyway,
Listen,
we're now
I
about
can talk
Wishbone.
about Wishbone
But
all day
Coming
long.
on Prime
It
Video.
is literally
Wishbone.
a show about enveloping yourself in fiction.
Yeah. Once it goes,
It's
that's
the
end.
best. I'm gonna make a thesis about Wishbone. Anyway, go Taliesin. Please save me.
I don't. It's I don't know really what to say because I was already like working as an actor so young. But I will say that the first one I can think of was watching Doctor Who with my mom on PBS. Was like, this is crazy and weird. Oh God, everybody! I was just like, who doesn't want to write an episode? It's insane.
Oh man, I'll say as a young kid, one of the films that really affected me was Ghostbusters because it was a mix of multi-genre comedy, serious action, horror. It had heart. It spoke to the little man, but also rising up to power, but also the terrifying paranormal aspects of it. It's a film that kind of really enveloped me as a kid and got me to start drawing in my sketchbook, which eventually led me here in its own way.
For me, it was the animated Hobbit movie from decades ago, which grabbed me before any books did, and I of course fell in love with that. Had a big picture book of it, which I still have the same copy of that, and that led me to reading the actual book, and then The Lord of the Rings and other fantasy novels, and just snowballed me right into this couch.
Yeah, I was the same as you. I was a huge fantasy kid. And I think the first time that I wanted to join this as a career, I played all of the King's Quest games from Sierra. And then I played Loom, which I don't know if anybody... Do you remember Loom?
I remember Loom. I voiced a character in a recent game that talks about Loom.
Really?
Continue, yeah.
It was the first game that I played that had a voice. And I fell in love with those voices. And I just I wanted to be able to do that.
The variety of answers makes me really happy. Also, it makes me really happy to ask you that question and know that the work you do is going to inspire other people the same way, which is such a special thing. So let's talk a little bit about Mighty Nein. Again, you have accomplished so much over the years. I want to know a specific first you experienced making this show, whether it is as creators and writers or as voice actors.
Firsts. Boy, oh boy. First.
We're so talented, nothing was a first. We've done everything multiple times. We've worked with 5-star celebrities in the past. We were super chill about it in every way. I think getting to see each other in a round as we were recording, and then also making fun of each other when we would flub or when each other would have to sing have been one of the highlights of recording as a group.
This is our first Oscar winner who's ever worked with us.
Yes,
Angelica
indeed.
Houston.
I mean, we've got our 2-time Emmy winner, but
Sure, and some
Oscars.
BAFTAs or whatever.
Whatever.
But this is Oscar. We're talking Oscar here. Angelica Houston's part of the amazing cast. There's so many really cool names, and getting to play with all of them has been a treat and is very special. Yeah.
I'd say for me, something we had on Vox Machina and also very much have in Mighty Nein to an even larger scale to a degree. For me, having all these things in a world that I created with my friends that have been living in our imagination collectively for so many years, and to now have an incredibly talented art team at Titmouse.
Don't forget the groin. Don't forget the groin.
To bring these things to life on such a way that even blows our imaginations out of the water. That is a wild experience to see like locations that are vibrant and real that I like made up in my bedroom to make my friends laugh and roll dice is crazy.
Anyone else got a first?
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's exactly what you're fishing for, but similar to what you just said off of the last question, Vox Machina and the characters we made for that, very rewarding, obviously, but it was a little bit of an accident the way it started. But for campaign 2 with the Mighty Nein, all of us created characters that inspired us and that we wanted to explore something with. And so the fact that we did that first around a table together, and then we're able to elevate it into this finely crafted animated show, and to go out to places like New York Comic Con, like we just spent the weekend doing, and have people come up to me and say, "You're role playing around the table with this character," or the book that you wrote of fairy tales connected to it, or any spin on that theme is mind blowing to me. That people are telling me that what we do together and what we've done with this story has inspired them to start writing, or to start acting, or to start creating, or to start playing. So that full circle moment of realizing that I'm doing for younger generations what other people did for me is humbling and just really, really rewarding.
I have another first.
Let's hear it.
It's another casting thing, though. It's our first Disney princess that we've ever worked with, and our second and our third.
Trifecta Disney princesses.
Yes. We've got Ali Carvalho, Moana. We've got Anika Nona Rose, Ming-Na Wen, and there's a special secret fourth Disney princess who will make an appearance.
Don't you do it, Sam Riegel.
Later in the season.
Wait, who? I'm just kidding.
Can you do a beat? Can you do a beat take and say, "But wait"?
But wait, who?
Much better.
Now
much better.
I'm trying to think of who it could possibly be, but even 3 is a badge of honor for the show. I love that. So many follow-up questions came to my mind. This one feels like a priority to ask. I'm sure you've kind of been asked it a multitude of times, but it is something that fascinates me about your work. And I think in particular, like I cover film and television really heavily, and one thing that I think about all the time is as film series continue, as TV shows continue, I feel like they run the risk of the audience narrowing and narrowing every step of the way when in fact you should be reaching new fans. So when it comes to the Mighty Nein in particular, what is it like making do on your existing fans' expectations, but also making sure you're welcoming new people to the party at the same time?
I think there's a very traditional idea of what fantasy means for people that maybe don't know what it is. It could be dragons, it could be armor and swords, it could be any of those things. And for me, in particular with the Mighty Nein, you just look at the lineup of the main characters and it is all the colors of the rainbow, quite literally. Purple, blue, green, it's all there. People have horns in their head, there's magic coming out of their hands, there's all sorts of things that I think are pushing the idea of what modern fantasy is, and at least that's what I think we've done so well, is mix what we love from traditional fantasy, those of us that are huge Lord of the Rings fans, mixing in with modern, I don't know, swearing, humor, anything that just makes it feel more us. And we hope that people that take a chance on it, if we do have a chance to catch someone instead of them ricocheting off the atmosphere, they'll sit down for a minute and go, hey, this is funny, it made me laugh, or it made me think, or what happens in the next episode. That's what we're always trying to build a better funnel for.
And the wonderful thing about having an animated series for something like this is, for the fans who have been with us for so long, it can be kind of hard to get your friends to sit down and watch hundreds and hundreds of hours. And now finally it's a way, and I've heard this from a lot of people, is finally I got my family to watch because they can handle a single series, and it's a great way to share it with friends in a way that is manageable. And you're also going to get surprised. So the old fans get surprised, and the new fans, everyone has something to take from it.
Yeah, Taliesin kind of beat me to the punch, but one of our favorite things to hear are people who were introduced to us through the animated series and then ended up wanting more. And so they jumped into Critical Role, whereas previously they might have been intimidated by it or think that it was too much to engage with. So we love hearing new fans.
Someone said to me this week, oh my gosh, I can finally sit my parents or my friend down to watch the animated series so they can understand the characters I wouldn't shut up about for the last 5 years.
That's it's truly such a nice thing to bring friends and family together with something they love like that. Another follow-up that came to mind, I think because someone mentioned how real the locations feel. And Laura, I think this is something you said on the panel that I just jotted down, because you were talking about the magic, and I just loved the way that you worded this. You specified that the magic in Mighty Nein feels alive. And I feel like this is me asking for the secret sauce, but like, how do you make magic feel alive in an animated series, whether it's through the writing or your collaboration on the animation?
I mean, so much of it is through the animation, right? Through developing the different mannerisms that each spell is created, the different components, the different languages, the different incantations. And it really shows the different walks of life that everybody is coming from, that how they approach their magic. So it really feels like its own character in the series.
Just to kind of brag on like Matt and Sam and Travis in particular, just because something is magical or fantastical doesn't mean that it shouldn't have a logic behind it. And I think that there was a lot of thought from especially those three who were kind of the tip of the spear with the animated series to make sure that it did make sense and it had like a science behind it.
We were always spoiled by Matt's descriptions from the live stream. I mean, the original episodes, Matt was so beautiful in the way he would describe the manifestation.
Liam too.
Magic.
Liam always did such an amazing
Liam is
job.
ass at describing magic. It's just Mercer.
I do fire.
Yeah, it was a great starting point, and I think we took the TTRPG element of it as a guideline, but it wasn't a rule set for us. There's nothing we adhere to. Sometimes we want to improve those things or make sure that they are really entertaining, or even embellish them in the correct way, I think. So we use all of those different things to whittle down that secret sauce. But what do you say, Mercer?
Yeah, I'll say it's something, but even that is a really delightful collaboration with the wonderful animation teams and storyboard artists and the designers, because like, we'll all talk about the basis of this, the intent of this spell, the visual language that we expect, and then they take their creative ideas and interests and then show back what they've done and spun on it. And in that kind of collaboration, something really, really cool and unique comes out where we're all like, well, I mean, that's it. Perfect. Let's go on to the next, challenge. And it's been really, really neat to work with everybody to put these things to life.
Oh, that's making me want to ask this follow-up question. Can you name something in the finished season that is more powerful than you ever realized it was initially via what the animators have done with your writing?
Like immediately something came to mind, and I don't want to give it away for spoilers, but
I will say there is a particular type of Exandrian magic that plays an important role throughout the story, and getting to realize it on a scale outside of the Mighty Nein specific experiences in the original campaign allowed us to really explore its capabilities.
Good walk around.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Bat guano. Bat guano is
Of course.
very important.
I was just thinking the word
all sorts of
poop.
shit has value in our world.
Very hard
we
to
value
animate.
all shit.
One other question I wanted to make a point to squeeze in, because I'm really curious about how this works into your creative process, is picking a showrunner for your animated series. I wanted to know like what that process is like for you in general and what it was about Tasha that made you say to yourselves, like, this is going to be the perfect person to essentially join our family on this ride.
Fighting pit combat, if I recall. There was a.
She's deadly.
Yeah. Well, she came to us and she pitched that we would do a shot-for-shot remake of Wishbone for the first episode.
I should have known.
And we were like, let's do it.
The second we run this interview, Wishbone will be trending everywhere.
Follow the money leads right back to Marisha Ray.
No, we talked to Tasha before we even really had a green light for this show, when we were just talking about it with Amazon, and she is a fan of the Mighty Nein. She's seen every streaming episode. She knows it back and forth, and she knows the feeling that she had watching it with her husband and with her friends the first time through. So whenever we come to a stumbling point or a question that we have to ask about the writing of the show or what are we going to do in this episode, she goes back to that. She's always going back to like the first feeling that she had as a viewer and wants to sort of evoke or recreate that moment. And we might do different things to evoke or recreate that specific feeling. We might come to it from a different plot or a different narrative tool, but the goal is always to sort of capture that lightning in a bottle that she experienced watching it the first time.
Yeah, I love Tasha so much, and her capability, her ability as a writer, coupled with how intimately familiar she is with the characters in the story, is unbeatable. And we're so lucky to have her.
We always have to give her props for writing some of the best jester dialogue.
She was so good.
She's better than you.
For sure.
Thank you. Really?
Dicks and dicks and dicks and dicks.
I got to wind down with you all. You know what our last order of business is. And like things are getting intense.
Yes.
This is like nearing the end of the bracket. You are moving the next piece. We're going to declare the best horror villain of all time at New York Comic Con 2025. You need to pick between the Babadook and Pennywise.
I went one way then the other, and now I know how I feel.
We're all
now.
Babadook experts here.
And we really should spend time to make a pro and con list, but we're not gonna.
No.
Well, like here's the thing to consider. Like
We're gonna.
I can have this conversation all day long.
Due diligence was done.
is it specifically the Skarsgård Pennywise or Pennywise as a concept?
I think it's Pennywise as a concept, overall franchise kind of thing.
Then Pennywise. It's Pennywise.
Because like you can't separate the Freddys and
Babadook is a
Jasons.
queer icon.
Yeah, we'll take a vote.
Hang on.
I stand.
Pennywise is like Gaga. Pennywise has range. Pennywise is an alien with no shortage of
And he can
looks.
dance.
You know your
Balloon
stuff.
animals.
It's true.
I'm just saying, though, we talk a lot about how we need to appeal to a younger generation. And if we want to do that, it should be Babadook.
Follow
I'm
the
just
money.
saying, he is a gay icon. We all know this. Tumblr would love us.
Babadook Wishbone crossover.
All right, throw your hands up if you vote for Babadook.
Go Babadook. Because there's a character in Babadook named Sam.
Tell us your favorite moment of the Babadook movie.
The character that's named Sam.
Hands up if you're voting for Pennywise.
Hey, all right.
Pennywise, let's go.
Who wants to do the
I read the book in
honors
fourth
and
grade. I have
advance-
to.
Force
advance
Marisha to do it
Pennywise?
since she didn't vote for Penny.
I did do a
PW.
book report on that.
I do think
Try
that
and explain
Pinhead
some of
should
those
have been
chapters to your
further up.
class.
Pinhead's still alive. Oh, no.
It
he's
should have
not.
been farther into the.
You know what? But
There we
Pinhead,
go.
Hellraiser didn't get the exposure
And
that
that's it.
Freddy did. Freddy
That
is
means-
all time.
Maybe a
It
few more
comes
years.
down to
Yeah.
Freddy
all
and
time.
Pennywise.
That's tough.
I'm going to say thank you for playing our game, but also
course.
huge congratulations on everything you've accomplished. Seriously, like this space is so lucky to have you all. Being in that room during your panel was absolutely electrifying. Congratulations.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much.
Very
Thank
kind.
you.